welcome back to After Hours at Blondie's, where we are joined by none other than Mazen and myself. We're here to chit-chat all about the Vancouver nightlife and scene and international DJ extravaganzas.
Sure.
And events and all the things that we love about the nightlife. So please subscribe if you haven't already. We have some amazing guests for season 2 is coming up. We'll discuss all of that at the end, so stay tuned. All the things to come. But I thought we could start today with a little trip down memory lane.
Oh, okay.
Where you got on a plane
Yep.
and jetted out of snowy Vancouver and into warm, sunny.
Yeah, that's right.
Tulum.
You know, the last episode we did, I was remote. We're 3 hours ahead in Tulum.
Oh.
So Eastern
that's
time.
right.
So I think it was like 10 or 11 o'clock we were doing the podcast. I was at my buddy's place, and then I was heading to Zanma, which is a big festival grounds area in Tulum, for, I believe it was the Mathame show.
Mathame? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a Mathame show. It wasn't was it the Rufus show? It was the Mathame show for sure.
Mathame. Yeah.
Because that was Wednesday, obviously.
We're here every Wednesday.
Yeah, so I did go to Tulum. I did party my face off. I did do a lot of things.
Yeah. Were you going for a specific festival or just like in general for Tulum's sake?
If you guys are aware of Tulum, then you'll know that most of Canada is there during January and February.
Our entire city just up and retransplants.
If you have money and you like to party, or just one of those two, you'll probably be in Mexico during these first two. So there's always that little bit of FOMO every year, because I have been to Tulum before, but I've never really partied there. Like I have kind of partied there, but not like big party there.
Yeah.
You know, so this was my first time that I was going to go down there and actually go to like events. And I didn't have anything specifically planned other than I was going to go to the Porque No show. So Porque No, which is Matt Ward, Tristan, and what was the last guy? Long hair. Big dude, Jeremy, I think. Jeremy. I can't remember. Anyway, he was.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's the one person I don't know reasonably well out of the three. But anyway, they do the Porque No show here, which I think we've talked about before.
Yeah.
They usually sell out their shows at Harbor or Enzo. Yeah, so they do pretty good there with just local DJs. So they've been working on promoting their show there for a while, that they were actually doing in Tulum at.
So they started first. They had their first thing in Tulum, or they had their first show here?
I think they started it here. The whole idea was to bring the jungle party vibe to Vancouver. That was the whole part of it, which is...
It's so cold and rainy here. Like, I'm always down for a good party.
Yeah, so that was the whole idea, was bringing the Tulum spirit to Vancouver instead of bringing the Vancouver spirit to Tulum, which is, you know, what always happens in January and February. So, anyway, fast forward to the party that they did in Tulum, which was at a location called Buutsa, Buutsha, Buutsa, which is a cenote. So a cenote is a lake or river cave combo. So it's like a underground water channel, and there's usually openings that are exposed because of like parts of the cliff or parts of the cave in, and then you can see the actual river. Yeah, exactly. Or that's just how it's formed. There's, it's all about underwater freshwater passageways there are little spots where you can have access to them. So it's basically surrounded by a cliff, not too high. I mean, I think it's maybe like 30 feet or 20 feet. You can jump off the cliff, and there's a water feature inside.
Heights, so
and then like a little kind of sort of quasi amphitheater style ramp.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful spot. Everybody look it up. I'm sure there's pictures of it. It's kind of a dream kind of place to party in the jungle with water. You know,
everybody sees that stuff on Instagram. You're partying in the jungle, and it's all beautiful people around you.
Yeah. So
what kind of music?
So the vibe was mostly house music. You know, and it was anywhere between deep to progressive to even tech house to, you know, a little bit of like classics, you know, remixes and stuff like that. You know, some Tristan played, Cam St. Denis played. So there was some Vancouver guys there, some people from Mexico there. And the place probably supports about 500 people adequately, and there's 1,500 people plus there. So it was the biggest party that venue has ever had.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
was it packed?
Packed, too full. Way too full. Like, you couldn't,
come on.
like, you 45 minutes to get a drink, like, insane. Like,
bathroom
insane.
lineups? Not good?
No, they have a great bathroom setup, so there was no issues with bathroom.
There's water all around you.
No, but like they have like a huge bathroom. Like the bathroom is for like a place that can support 1,500 people. No, I never saw a single lineup.
That's good.
For the bathroom ever. Yeah. So
I remember Foundations last year, and the bathroom lineup was just unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
stupid.
bad.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great party, fantastic party. Was too busy for sure. Was too busy for the venue, but they should have just had more bartenders or better.
Yeah.
Horses, because they do it. You got to buy tickets, and then you go to the bar. I guess you're lining up twice. It's kind of like
that is such a silly system.
I just don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it.
If they have to check your ID when you're getting a drink, then so be it, and take 5 extra seconds. But for you to go in a whole separate lineup, spend 15 minutes there, then a whole separate lineup. Like, I would love to talk to somebody who's like, this is a genius idea.
Yeah, I just don't understand the logic either. I
don't get it. Like, check your ID before you're going up to the bar. It takes 5 seconds.
Well, they check your ID when you get in, so it's Mexico anyway. Nobody cares about rules in Mexico.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch out my ID like how
that
many
place
times?
is the thing is partying in Mexico. Not in Mexico.
It's my friend.
Partying in Tulum is so expensive.
Yeah.
That teenagers are not going to be able to afford to go. So like all the places I went to, the crowd was quite mature. Mid to late 20s to 40s. 50s even crowd. Like,
this is not legal advice, but if you have that much money, you're gonna get a fake ID.
Either way, it's Mexico. They don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah,
they don't care. Anyway, so great party, fantastic venue, love that was a great setup, and props to those boys pulling it off. I mean, to promote a party in Mexico where you don't have necessarily like an established following, and to do it so well that it not only sells out, it overflows triple what the normal capacity is for that place.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, well done.
Good for them.
Yeah, and they had a successful after party too that went well. I only saw it from afar because by the time I got there, my buddy Jay and I were so tired. We're like, you know what? Well, we're just gonna, because it was literally all day. Like we were there for, I can't even tell you how long we were there. 10, 12 hours. It's ridiculous. At least 10. It was at least 10 hours that we were there.
Need a nap for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just too tired.
There too?
They do. Yep. They had, and the food. Oh my god, expensive but so good. Like the quality was, you were getting what you paid for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like undeniable. Like you weren't like, which will bring me to when I talk about Zanma, or when I talk about Zanma, but like Butsa, food expensive, but you were getting gourmet like 5-star cuisine. Yeah. Like
if you're
really
paying
premium.
that much and you're getting the value
some of the best
out of
squid I ever had. The burgers looked amazing.
Yeah.
They had sushi. They had pasta. It was just unreal. It was so good. Yeah. So. Yeah. Nice. So anyway, that was the first thing that we did for the party. So then the next thing I went to was a very highly rated club called Bonbonnier.
I love these quotations.
Yeah.
That just make me feel confident.
And I had all these like people telling me it's gonna be awesome, great club. Claptone was playing.
Love Claptone. Whichever Claptone shows up.
Yeah. And my buddy had a table, and so we're like, you know what? My friend and I decided we're gonna go. Tickets were insanely expensive. Like. The party at Porque No was so reasonable. I think it was like $40 US.
Okay.
Totally reasonable.
For all day party, beautiful location, great DJs.
It was a bargain. Because then the comparison was, this party was $300.
Excuse me?
$300 for one person. So
are you getting like a massage, a lap dance, and like...
Quite the opposite. It was
just a party.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, this better blow my mind. I'm like, it's in the middle of the Tulum hotel zone, which is like a premium area.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be this crazy venue in the jungle, whatever. No, it's an indoor club. It's indoor club.
In Mexico? In Tulum?
Silly.
Beautiful
anyway.
place on earth. Let's go inside.
And it was like, it's I guess you would call it a nicer club for sure.
Okay.
But it was basically if Bar None's bottle service layout, where it's like literally a U shape, a horseshoe shape of tables surrounding the surrounding the dance floor.
Yeah.
And like celebrity sound system, but like with a bad tuning job. And about that size. I'd say it was about, 700 maybe people club that probably had like 900 people in it. Like it was stuffed.
Oh.
You couldn't dance. The dance floor, it literally looked like a sardine can.
Yeah.
With everybody's like trying to dance, but they're like this.
There's so many videos on TikTok that's like the DJs like building everybody up, hyping everybody up, and then when the beat drops, like nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the comments like, oh, bad drop. And it's like, no, actually,
no, they just can't move.
Stuff like sardine cans. They can't move. They can't jump. They can't like enjoy themselves.
Yeah. And it was because of the layout, it's primarily a bottle service type of club. So that means that the crowd, the service, the whole layout is catered to the bottle service crowd, which is all bottle rats, wannabe Instagram models, prostitutes, and drug dealers. Like that's basically the crowd. So
what a great bunch of people.
Yeah. So there are some endearing things about this party.
Oh,
first of all, Claptone was Claptone. So love Claptone, did a great job, very Claptone-y.
Claptonial,
very Claptonial. Yeah, it was like if you've seen Claptone before, which I have, no surprises. Yeah, totally fine.
Right.
And the go-go dancers were unbelievable. They have like, I think they had four.
Mad props to the go-go dancers.
And they murdered it considering how hot it was.
Yeah,
and they have to be in this costume, which was not like a crazy hot costume, but they had to be dressed pretty. They had stuff on. Yeah. They weren't like in their underwear or whatever.
Okay, cool.
And they were giving it, like very giving it. Like and they were up often. They were like it felt like they were there like at least a third of the time they were performing. So that's amazing. It was pretty good part of it.
Yeah.
Other than that,
that's a really underappreciated thing is the go-go dancers.
It totally adds to the vibe.
It does. Yeah. I see them giving her,
especially when they're in costumes and they're like all like little caricatures or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just anybody who thinks that it's not worth it to hire go-go dancers doesn't know how to run a party.
No.
It's totally worth it.
It's they're vibe setter, they're a vibe checker, they hype up the crowd, they get involved, they have their beautiful little outfits and they're all color coordinated or coordinated in some way. And they really they give their best stuff and they love it. Like I used to be friends with a lot of go-go dancers back when I partied a lot more when I was a kid. And like they just like absolutely love it. They have their times and they know when to go on. They have their signals between the two of them.
Yep. They're usually big fans of the music as well. So yeah. So I mean, I as soon as I walked in there, because I was full of hype and full of like really wanting to enjoy it, and like when you walk up to it, like it's a beautiful pathway and there's like trees everywhere, and then they bring you in like these secret doors, and it feels like a great like. Wow, you're getting set up for this big experience. And then you get in there and it's just like, this is just a nice club. It's not $300. This is not a $300 US party. This is I think it was 300 Canadian. 300 Canadian, either way. Doesn't make a difference.
I mean, a little less than 300 US.
So 240 US or 230 US, whatever it is, but still.
And that's for a regular ticket, not bottle service or anything.
No.
Just regular
ass ticket. Yeah. Yeah, I mean they filled that place up to the tits, so I mean
marketing,
what do you know?
They're doing good.
Yeah, so it was very disappointing. Like within 5 minutes, I walked with I was there with a bunch of friends, but the one person I went with, I walked around the club. We were still looking for like where our table was set up for the person that was getting the table. And I was like 5 minutes and I was like, I hate to be like this negative person, but I hate it here. Like I hate it. Like. This crowd's no good. It's way too busy. So hot.
Yeah.
Like, we're not dressed in, like, t-shirt and shorts because it's, like, dress code.
Right.
We're all dressed in, like, pants and, like, shirts and whatever.
Suits.
Not suits, but, like, you're wearing full, like you're going out in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So you're not going in, shorts and tank tops and flip-flops. You know what I mean? Like, which is what you should be going in 25-degree plus temperature in a club.
You're just sitting there like, I'm having so much fun in my pantsuit and Situations.
Anyway, so that was a
situations.
I mean, you know what? If it was another $40 experience, I'd be like, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
But for $300, not great.
Not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
So then the next one was I had to choose between seeing Fisher at Zanma or seeing Mathame. I don't know if I'm even saying it right, but anyway.
If you're out there, Mathame, we do apologize.
Please, yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with Mathame. Sure.
We'll have them on the podcast and they'll be like, it wasn't.
Yeah. Fisher is Fisher. I've seen Fisher live a couple times. It's always a good time.
Great.
He's a great DJ.
Yeah.
Great producer. It's all like,
hype.
The every one hit wonder of the summer is Fisher. We've all realized this for the past 5 years. It's fine.
He's a hit maker.
Hit maker, yeah. So
and making babies. I think his wife's pregnant.
Nice. Good job.
Anyways,
but then the other one is like more of a melodic techno driving kind of techno producer. And I was like, well, all my friends are going to Fisher.
Yeah.
All my friends. Oh, and that brings me to the other thing too. At Boots Ha, I probably knew 50 to 100 people at Boots Ha. It was as if I was going to it's like as if I was going to Foundations and running into everybody I know there. I was doing that. At Porcano.
All right, Vancouver. Next year, everybody's in Tulum. You're invited. Let's go. We'll just take over the entire city of Tulum.
They basically do. You can't I was running into people from Vancouver there all the time.
That's so funny.
It was not a day went by that I was not running into somebody that I knew that I didn't know was there. And that's no joke. Yeah. Not at all.
We'll just move in. Everybody set up a little commune.
There's honestly too many.
Yeah.
You'd have to set up the whole section of the city to facilitate all the Vancouverites there. Yeah, so anyway.
We do love Tulum.
Yeah, so I ended up choosing Mathame anyway because I just wanted the music to be awesome. Yeah. I hadn't gotten to see the stuff that I like to listen to.
But he doesn't do progressive melodic techno.
Turns out it's the same party. The way they advertise it is it's two different parties. You buy a ticket for one or the other.
Right.
But it's the same party. You go there. The Zanma, I had never been there. I knew nothing about the place. There's 3 stages. Oh. Yeah, and they had 2 of them open. There's like a small, medium, and large stage. The medium stage was for Mathame, the small stage was for Fisher, and the large stage wasn't open that day.
Right.
And the large stage is the one that you see in all of the videos for Afterlife and all the big festivals, Day Zero.
Cool one. It's like huge, a circle, and the people are swirling around inside of it.
It's massive, yeah. So, anyway, as soon as I got in there, I ran into people I knew. I was like, oh, you guys are here. Yeah, we're at Fisher, but the opener was not really what we wanted to hear, so we went over here and literally ran into them.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, and the way it's laid out is super nice because if you go with people, you'll, even though there's almost no cell phone reception, it's not hard to find people.
Yeah.
At least in those first 2 stages. If you go to the main stage, it's over 10,000 people. Like, you're not going to find anybody unless you know where they are. It's just way too many people. But
that's a lot.
But that being said, if you have like a landmark, it's not a problem. And
do they have little landmarks?
All over the place. Yeah, all over the place. Yeah. It's pretty easy to create landmarks. Plus, there's trees everywhere. You could be like the 3rd tree from the left. Blah blah blah. Like it's not like if you have to go there to really get what I'm saying. But Zanma's great.
Awesome. That's a nice change.
It's exactly what you'd expect an outdoor festival location, like a high-end outdoor festival location to be like. It's not quite as crazy production as like something as Tomorrowland, which I've never been to, but I've seen lots of stuff about. But it's like, the way I described it was Base Coast if you just made it 100 times bigger.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So,
I love that.
So without the camping.
Yeah.
You're not camping. Yeah. There's literally no camping.
The festival grounds.
The artwork, the vendors, the layout. There's one path that intersects everything. So again, you'll run into people that if you're
bars there.
There's a food court, there's a bar, there's no shortage of bars. You'll never wait more than 5 minutes to get a drink there, even when it was packed. It was just, there's so many places to get drinks.
Right.
That being said, there might be no lineups because drinks are astronomically expensive there. like astronomically.
So we're sneaking stuff in the
oh no,
in
you
our
can't.
Socks?
No, you can't, because I've never been searched more than that place.
Really?
Yeah, they search you from head to toe. They pat everything. They open everything. They you got to inside out your pockets.
Sneeze,
like
cough test.
Everything. Yeah, like you cannot like they like the only thing you can do really is like crotch it, and even then, if you don't have.
That is some warm tequila, honey.
yeah, and you wouldn't be able to bring much. You know what I mean? Because if it looks obvious, they're gonna find it because they're tapping everything. Your butt, like everything.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Well, so there were like girls trying to bring in stuff in their bras and stuff or in hair clips. Nope, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, you got that taken away for sure.
Yeah.
So so you go there, and it's one of those places where you get the bracelet, and you have to put money on the bracelet, and then you take that and you go and pay for stuff. So it's kind of the same idea as like you got to buy drink tickets and then drinks and food after.
Could you reload it from an app? Sometimes they have like an app.
I don't know. They might have, but I didn't see that.
Okay.
I didn't see that. There is no reception there though. That's the problem.
Oh.
Like there is, but it's like very bad because it's like a network that's supposed to support like 500 people in a jungle, and there's that place can hold up to 20,000, I think. So like it's just not happening.
Everybody's getting this much reception.
Yeah. Like you're lucky if you send a message and it gets there within 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But like once it clears out, like at the end of the night when it's less busy, the reception suddenly works again. Magic.
Concept.
Magic.
People. So I think at EDC what all the kids had to do is when you send your message, you have to put a timestamp when you sent the message, so when somebody else gets it on the other side, they can be like, this was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You know?
That's and that's exactly. So you got to kind of have meeting spots and plan things ahead of time. Yeah, if you're going in a large group. But I wasn't. I went by myself every time. I just ran into people that I knew. Because I knew there were so many people there. Like I probably ran into like 10 people the first night, and then that part of the first one, the Maze was awesome. I was like, okay, and tickets were pretty expensive for that too. I think it ended up being like $260 Canadian. So, but I didn't feel ripped off.
I mean, it's such a big,
it's a massive production. It's like and I had a great time the whole time.
Yeah.
The sound quality was just perfection. Doesn't matter what stage you went to, and doesn't matter where you were standing. Absolutely immaculate sound quality. Doesn't matter where you were. It was so good. Oh my God, so good.
Snaps for that.
Yeah. Like just like village, like new village stage.
Right.
On crack.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was unreal.
We're talking about village stage at
Shambhala, which has a new PK sound. Like it's
brand new. Everything's
same thing
tuned.
as Base Coast has it on their main stage too. It's the same setup. It's just perfect. And lots of volume, lots of like bass. Like the bass was and never distorted, just punches you in the gut, but like no rumbling, wobbling.
That's possible. You got your lap dance, you got your massage and a lap dance.
Yeah, exactly, all that stuff. And it's just, it was very expensive. Like drinks were, I think it was like $12 for a water bottle or pop. You know, like drinks were like 30-ish. Right? So, yeah, but even like, I was probably spent $100 on like pop and water. Yeah. So it was like, it's expensive to be there. So, and then, so that was awesome. No complaints. Was there till 6:30 a.m. It was beautiful. Yeah. So then next,
you said somebody was doing a sunrise set.
They're all those parties do sunrise. Okay, they go till like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm just not, or 9. I think 9 a.m. anyway. But I'm not going to last that long. And then the next day I was going to Rufus. So Rufus was doing a DJ set. Rufus de Sol.
Love.
DJ set. And that was a sunrise set, but they all are the main sets are they start at 4 a.m. and go to 7. It's like 7, at least 7.
Please. Yeah. Please start at 10 p.m. and then go until
at Eastern time it's 4 a.m. But if I was still on my clock, which kind of I was, it's a 1 o'clock start. So I was like, this is perfect.
1 p.m. 1
a.m. Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because it's 3 hours difference, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So for me, it's like this is a normal club. It's a normal night. You know, like as far as like when things are starting and ending. So if I'm partying from midnight or 1 a.m. till 3:30, well, that's totally normal for me.
Yeah.
You just shift those times 3 hours when you're over there, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Wake up, come back to Canada, you're done, no problem.
Yeah. So Rufus was very interesting actually, because the previous night, it was like the openers were awesome, kept the party going, the energy. And I actually went to see Fisher that night too for like about 30-40 minutes one time, and like, you know, like 10 minutes another time, just kind of like popping in and out, whatever. And he was killing it. It was awesome. Like if I settled on Fisher, I would have been super happy. It was fine. But you know, the other show was way more my speed, and I was loving every second of it. It was awesome.
Techno, progressive.
Yeah, but driving, like energy, like dark energy, like go
130 BPM.
I'd say close to that. Yeah. Up and down between like 128 to 134 range. Yeah. It's just very driving, very like dark and but high energy. Very good.
Journey music.
Very journey. Like excellent work. Excellent work. Amazing. Very cohesive set. It was a audio-visual set. Yeah. So they had these like AI style animations that kind of like morphed and changed, and it was whatever. It was fine.
Sorry, that's Maze, right? That's Maze. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Awesome. I'll show you videos. I don't know if I've shown you stuff, but
I'll look it up.
Yeah. It's a set that they've done. Apparently, they were touring that set. So it was all kind of like, I wouldn't say it was a pre-recorded set. It was just like a pre-arranged set with the visuals and whatever.
I mean, hey, if you're going to see a show, you want the show, they have the show right there. If you want something on the fly, then you go to a different kind of DJ. I think there's a kind of performance for everything.
So anyway, fast forward back to Rufus, which was totally different because the opener, this was at the main stage. There's no other stages open, just the main stage. Yeah. But the food court has a little DJ booth, and there's DJs there. So that's like, so
it's like
and every time I was, it kind of is like the backroom vibe. Every time I was at the food court, I was like, this music's killing it. These guys are fucking awesome.
I mean, like, do I stay in the bathroom? Do I stay in the food court, or do I go to the main stage? Yeah, like, what do I do?
That wasn't necessarily a dilemma the first night that I was there, but the second night, the DJ that was opening, I didn't know who it was, but it was pretty lackluster. It was like, it was like 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at a beach bar vibe. And like everybody's there ready to rage, you know, because you can keep in mind it's like 1, 2 a.m. their time. So it's like
some like
3 a.m. You know, like Rufus doesn't start till 4. People are there at like 1 or 2 trying to get into it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So energy's really low, and you see like there's 10,000 people standing around like this, like, you know what I mean? They're all like itching. They're itching to go. And like with the group of people I was with, they were all like, they were getting hammered. They're doing their stuff. They're getting excited. But this music is kind of like, meh, and they're like, whatever. And then Rufus starts, and Rufus starts with like one of their main stage hits, which is great. I was like, okay, cool. We'll get this party started. Let's wake this crowd up. Yeah. And then they settle down into like some like groovy, like
deep house,
deepish, but not too deep, but like kind of tech house, deep house, progressive remixes of their tracks. You know what I mean? Like cute. Okay. That kind. But it's like they start with that hit. Yeah. And then they break it down. Yeah. And then they're slowly building it up. And I was like, after the third song, I was like, I know exactly what they're doing right now. Yeah. And this is going to be unbelievable. I was like, but I was like, the problem is this crowd needs them to start playing some friggin' bangers, or else they're going to leave. Yeah. You know what I mean? And actually a lot of the people that I was with after the first hour, they left because it's now 5 a.m. and there's no energy, right? Yeah. Like, there's no energy.
They're waiting for the big like party. Let's go.
Yeah. So I was actually telling everybody that I was with, I was like, they're not playing this. They're not playing the set for any of you guys. They're playing the set for me. This is like this whole place. You guys all got ripped off. They're playing this set for me.
It's worth it for you.
For me, they're playing the set for me. Yeah. That's it. For me. That's it. Nobody else. 9,999 people or whatever it is. You guys can all go home. This isn't for you.
See you later. Yeah. They called me in advance. Yeah. I'm here.
So, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is like they were going there. They were playing a set for music nerds. Yeah. Like this is going to be their like magnum opus, you know, essential mix of the year, like kind of like journey, you know, and that's exactly what it was.
A piece de resistance, like, the one that they crafted and put everything
totally.
into.
They knew that they were playing for 4 hours, and they were playing a set that's going to be a cohesive set between start to finish, and it's going to take you on this beautiful like ride the whole time where, you know, after the first hour, it'll start to like peak a little, be a little more heavy. Yeah. You know, they'll play some like bangers and like stuff like high energy, and then they'll bring it back dark. Yeah. Then halfway through the next hour, it'll be like, let's play some interesting totally switch up the vibe, bring it back up again, come back down for the sunrise, bring a nice little float. That's exactly what they did. After the third song, I knew exactly what they were going to do, and they did exactly what they were going to do. and it was brilliant. Like
they finished, they brought the trophy home.
It was a masterpiece. It was like perfect. And it's like, you know, I've seen Rufus do their live show before, and I've seen many performances where they do like on video and YouTube, whatever, and they always do a great job. But this was like easily the best thing. This is like one of those top of all time sets. I hope they have a recording of it somewhere. I doubt they will, but it was anybody who was like a DJ, who is a music snob, all agreed with me, and then everybody there who's just ready to get fucked and go party. They were gone.
Two different camps.
They were gone after an hour.
Two different camps.
There was a lot of people who stayed because it's almost a $300 party, so you're gonna stay, you know, like committed. So you know,
financially I think you've committed.
So there are people that will stay and just kind of be like, okay, well, it was Rufus, it was good, I was kind of disappointed. No, that set was not for them. You know, fair enough. But anybody I knew who was like a music nerd or DJ that was there, and there was a lot of people that I knew there. There was a lot of DJs and people in the industry that were there. They're like, this is like a masterpiece. That's warranted.
Like, if you want to go to the club and get, you know, have the big party, go do that. If you want to do that, like, have that journey and that experience and see what like the best of the best kind of DJs can do, go to Rufus Soul.
I think
that kind of
set. You know? I think a lot of because Rufus does have a lot of songs that are mainstream hits. You know, it's going to attract the mainstream crowd who were probably just expecting them to play their playlist. You know what I mean? And it was like, if you have ever seen Zoo live, who's my favorite producer, I'm sure I've mentioned that before. He has his shows where it's like a concert where he will live perform his songs, mostly in their original form, but sometimes he'll do like remixes and mix in other stuff too. Or he'll do one of his so-called blacklist sets. In the blacklist set, he doesn't play any of his songs in their original form. He only plays remixes, but also mixes in other people's music that flows with the set well. And it's very much like a musical journey style set. But that's exactly, if I was to describe Rufus's set that night, it was a blacklist set. It was like, very rarely did they play their songs in their original form. The first song they played was one of their songs in their original form, and they'd sprinkle it in here and there. You know, just to keep like it, like keep that nostalgia, like exactly.
We know you're here for this. Like, we'll give you a little. You know.
Or they'll remix it into like a remix. Like they'll do the remix and then put in the original for a bit, and then come back to the remix, or you know what I mean, like stuff like that, where it's like really artistically.
They're knowledgeable about what they're doing. You know, they understand the concept.
So anyway, that was a very expensive but very roller coastery party trip.
Rewarding.
It was. I don't regret it. I don't think I would do that again for how much it cost. I could easily have done a festival in Europe or South America or something for kind of the same amount of money.
Right.
You know, especially if you factor in what I paid for Claptone, which was a total dud of an experience compared to what Zanma was. You know, and I unfortunately, I found out after the fact that I had an opportunity to go to Afterlife for free, and that the reason why I didn't go to Afterlife, I was going to go to Afterlife, but it was the same night as Porque No. So I'd already been like, it would have been a slog. Like I would have had to take a nap and whatever. But I wasn't going to buy a ticket for something that I might be dead to, but I found out Mikhail was there and he had 2 spots at his table. He could have given them to me for free with my buddy Jay. And we didn't find that out till the next day.
Get out of town.
And that would have been sick.
I feel like I've been ripped off.
Because Afterlife, because the production was great at Rufus on the main stage, but Afterlife has this whole thing with the screen that you see in all the videos. Like
that is the reason just like, that video that went viral at Printworks was the reason why I booked my ticket to Europe earlier that year. I just booked a ticket. I booked Printworks. I bought a ticket because of that one viral TikTok.
So Afterlife would have been wild. And the other thing too was that the weekend after I had left was Day Zero, which is another huge festival there too, which a lot of people from Vancouver were at as well. And that this whole month in February, there's stuff happening every day. I'm not talking about every weekend, every day. If you want a party, you can find a party that's unreal every day.
New Vegas, am I right?
It's essentially, it's not like Vegas, but it's like
for partiers who love music.
Yeah, it's if you're somebody that's kind of likes that European musical vibe. Mm-hmm. Tulum is the closest thing to getting that on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. That you can go to for North Americans. Yeah. You could go to Europe for thousands of dollars, or you can go to Mexico for $600 or $500,
and then spend an arm and a leg.
Yeah, you're gonna do that in Europe anyway too. But it is
yes and no.
Yes and no. Yeah.
Yeah. When I went there, I was very particular about the things that I wanted to do, and I knew what I wanted to do. The only one that got me was I went to I was in Paris, and I went to one of the clubs there, and my friend recommended it to me, who was living in Paris as well. She's like, I can't go, but you go. And I showed up, and the tickets to get in were 80 euros for everyone, no matter if you're English speaker or French speaker. Because I overheard somebody who is French speaking, and I was like, okay, well, if I want to go into this club, it's 80 euros, which turned out to be like $120. Yeah. And it was a great party. Fantastic. Had so much fun. But rest of them were around 30 to 60 euros, even for Circle. Circle in Spain for Printworks was maybe 60 euros. Not too expensive, but just to get over there is... sometimes an arm and a leg if you don't plan it out properly.
But none of those are really like festival grounds per se. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's
like the other like
Circle.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to any festivals. No. Yeah,
I mean, Zan was technically a festival ground. It's like it's like going to Tomorrowland or going to EDC or something like that. Yeah. It's like this is where festivals happen. So it is kind of like I get it why it would be expensive to go. Although that being said, there has to be like a ton of guest list given out. There has to be because the ratio was easily like 55 to 65% women. Yeah. To guys. Yeah. Which is wild. Yeah. Which is wild. You know what I mean? No, not especially if it's that expensive. Usually it's just like. It's at least even. You know what I mean? My
little brain is like, okay, where do I find guest list?
Right? Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I mean, if you're down there enough, I think like the friends might be able to hook you up next time.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Yeah, it's who if you're connected there, guest list is easy. Yeah, totally easy. Yeah, and that's what I figured out too. Is like if you're connected in Tulum, which wouldn't take long. If you were there for like a few months, you probably get guest list everything. Yeah, especially if you're also like. Deep in the music industry, like as a DJ, you'd obviously guess this would be easy. So I think there's a lot of room to not pay that much there. If you do live there, you'll know how to get into these parties a little easier.
I think it's a classic thing is like you have to go there, see what's up, get introduced, and then the next time you go, then you can
probably better. Especially if you
DJs and they're like, oh, well, you could have done blah blah blah. But you don't know unless you're there.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is I was invited to a couple of parties that were also pretty sick. Like, I got invited to a private villa party with Solomon DJing.
Oh, somebody was just talking about that in the comments.
That was the same night, Solomon. I think that was the same night as Rufus. I know what Solomon's all about lately. It's a little bit more boring for me than Rufus would have been.
Yeah, I hear Solomon.
He's just a little. He's a little minimally. So nowadays, like he used to be more progressive-y, deep, and always a bit more minimally quirky stuff, whatever. And plus, that party would have been way more expensive. Like I think it was something. I think they wanted something like $600 a person, but it would have been like a really extravagant, crazy party. And people who went said it was amazing. So
I love that.
Props to them. Yeah, awesome. And it's probably because it's a private villa, it probably would have been a place where you could meet more people, be more, get more contacts, stuff like that. But
network a little bit more.
And if I was living in Tulum, I may have decided on that instead. Yeah. But I don't need these connections.
If we ever move the podcast to Tulum.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I've been to Tulum so many times now. I kind of want to experience other things. Yeah. I feel like I definitely haven't experienced all of it for sure. I've only the tip of the iceberg, but I've gotten the gist of it enough that I can see what else is out there and then maybe make a decision if Tulum is like the best of it. You know what I mean?
You pick your favorite vibes too. Like I went down to Cabo. I didn't really party there at all. That was a couple years ago with some friends, and then being in Europe and just seeing the parties there, I'm like, I want to keep exploring more, you know?
Totally. Yeah. So, I'd like to see like what, like, cause I obviously like partying outside during the day on a beach, that kind of vibe in the jungle, whatever. So for me, like Southern Europe, like near the coast would be like kind of like the areas that I would like to explore.
I'd love to.
Yeah. That's kind of my vibe, I think. So yeah. Anyway, that was Mexico.
Lovely. That's
you know,
exciting.
I'm sure I could talk about other stuff, but that was kind of the main party related stuff there that I did. And yeah, it was a lot of fun for sure. You could have a lot of fun there, but it's not cheap.
No, it's not very expensive.
I honestly spent more there on four parties than I probably would spend in almost a year here.
Yeah.
You know, it's so that just to give you the scale of like how much damage I did in 10 days. Compared to like a year here.
Coming back with bare thread
and I buy tickets here. Like I could get guest lists to a lot more shows. I used to get guest lists for everything when I was younger, but I was way more poor. So now now that I could afford it, I'd rather at least for at least half the stuff I go to, if not more, buy tickets to support the industry now that I can do that.
Definitely.
So, you know, I'm not afraid to buy tickets, but like, you know, at $200+ a show, it starts to add up.
Yeah, very quickly. You're only there for a week. Yeah, let's go through some comments and we can go on to our next. So what is everyone saying? Hi everyone, welcome in. Someone said they loved your beard.
My beard?
Or sorry, your mustache.
Oh, the mustache, yeah.
Wendy said, love your mustache. Open format. Ooh, David Shin has seen Rufus live. Their sets do not miss. I love that. Solomon makes some great stuff. Someone said they like my foot. Thank you. Driven Fell, thank you so much for the 15 months. How are you? Why is this a final podcast? This is a final after hours at Blondie's. Forever and ever and ever. No, I'm just kidding. We're doing a sneaky little rebrand. So stay tuned.
Yeah, RG, Anima. Yeah, I didn't get to see either of those, but that would have been amazing. I definitely would have loved to see Anima at Zanma. That would have been like one of the premier experiences for sure.
That would be wild.
Yeah, I would probably pee my pants the whole time.
Yeah, somebody's talking about Miss Monique. We'll talk about her in a minute.
Yeah, Miss Monique.
Okay. Any questions?
If
not, we'll go through to our next topic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, what's next on the agenda?
Visuals. YouTube, yeah. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube. I post all the edited stuff there. Well, I guess we'll bring it back to
I'm loving the chat right now. The amount of activity. Way to go, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, chit-chatting away. I guess the next thing is Vancouver. So we'll bring it back to Vancouver.
Yes, you've been very busy the last month.
I've been very busy. I've been going to shows. I've been playing shows. Yeah. I've been debuting. I've been doing all the things. So I guess before we get to my shows that I've done personally, Miss DJ. Let's talk about Contact, because we had Zeta Official, Zeta on the podcast a couple months ago talking about the fact that she had a big show coming up at the end of the year, and it turned out to be Contact, which is the Winter Music Festival here in British Columbia. Vancouver.
Probably the biggest electronic show in BC that's not a festival.
In the winter.
Well, I guess it is technically, if they call it a festival, but
it's a 2-day.
It's an indoor fest. I don't know. But as far as I think it technically used to get crazy numbers before.
Yeah. Before COVID, it was insane.
Yeah, crazy numbers.
Oh, like I would say every other year, maybe since 2014 or 15 or something like that.
Yeah, I think I've been to about 6 or 7 of them. Maybe.
Yeah, it's been at BC
not all of them, but
BC Place, which is a huge stadium here in Vancouver, and they would have massive visuals,
huge setups, lasers, everything, blah blah blah.
Everything. They have
10,000 plus people for sure.
VIP section, which was amazing. Huge dance floor. And then it got really cold because people stopped going because economy and everything like that.
Yeah.
And COVID shut everything down.
Venue's too big. Like, it's BC Place is huge.
Massive in there.
Yeah.
It was great. Great shows.
The capacity there is well over 25,000 people. So
yeah.
It's a big venue.
Definitely. Amazing show. So they decided to put it in Vancouver.
The convention center. Which is a modular space, so they can make it for any size they want it to be.
Yeah.
And I think they said they did something like, did they say like 7,000 or 8,000 people, which is still pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah. It was a big stage, not as big as it was before.
It's not as tall. And that's what was tripping me out too, because I was like seeing it and I was like, oh, it's smaller. But then I texted my friend who I'd always been to the other contact with. He's like, no, that looks way better because it actually fills the space and they've got visuals on the columns and everything like that. I had a great time there. I only went for Dana's set though, Zeta's set, and then we went to Celebrities because she opened at Celebrities as well. And so it was so cool seeing my friend on a stage, and she did amazing.
Did a great job.
An original set.
Yep, it was awesome.
Original song within her set.
Yeah, and so that was very well received. She didn't tell anybody that she was playing that song.
Yeah.
Nobody heard it before, so when she played it and the crowd went crazy for it, and it was like, that was very special.
Yeah.
You know, I got it on video too. It's like, wow, people are really vibing to the song. So
She made it with Chris Corkle, who has also been on the podcast.
Yeah.
An amazing, talented producer. So that was really cool to see.
He's a genius. We've all crossed that bridge, obviously, here.
And raved.
And Contact was done at the same place they did Foundation the last time at Convention Center, and they made big improvements to the setup.
Yep.
I felt like they had more people and less lineups somehow. You know, and
love it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how they managed that, but kudos.
Good on them.
Also, same venue, better sound quality.
Yeah.
You know, now it used to be you had to be standing right in front of the stage to hear anything, and now they made it so that it kind of filled in the VIP spaces, the back spaces, all that stuff.
I did notice that they took away the backstage tickets.
For that show they did,
yeah. So I wonder if that made a difference to the sound quality too, because you're back there the first time, right?
I don't know. I don't know if that made a difference. I think it might have. I think they might have just added more speakers, because I think what I saw was they had the speakers set up in their standard rows where it's like coming down and going like this.
Yeah, and
that curvature. Yeah. And this time they had not only that, but they had them coming on the sides too.
Yeah.
Like that. And I think they had speakers in like a bit forward more in another row too, so that the back got more sound as well. So
I was never really in the crowd for very long. I was there for her set, and then we kind of dipped out to something else. But
crazy lineup, because Contact usually has 2 stages, so you can do a very mixed show. And like if some people like certain kind of music or some people like another certain kind of music, they can hop from stage to stage. But this time it was just one stage, and they were hopping genres like hotcakes.
Nobody's business.
It was just very convoluted.
It was very interesting. I was trying to keep up, and I really appreciate the DJs putting on their show for what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So Dana's was a progressive, like sweet, melodic, progressive. And then the next guy that came up, I wish I could probably pull it up.
I can't remember who it was exactly.
Bass house, crazy. And then he stopped the music and invited his parents up there and said, and took a picture with them. And then the next person that was on was like house DJ, disco lines, I think. Yeah,
something like that.
And then Rez ended that night. So this was day 2.
Well, it was Troy Boy before that.
He was playing hip hop.
He was playing like straight up like hip hop at some point. Like he opened the first 30-40 minutes were like some of his more popular songs. So it was kind of cool that way. Like if you like his music, which I'm not necessarily, but it was a party. But then it went straight into like hip hop and R&B. Like it was like as if you were at like a mainstream Granville club for like the next hour and a half.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. So and then Rez came on and just went super dark Rez.
Yeah.
Like it was if you wanted Rez, you got Rez. You got Rez in the face. Yeah.
I loved her set at Foundation or Faded.
Yeah.
I think 2 years ago. Me, Silva, DJ Sibs, and some other people went as well. and it was just incredible. It was raining. It was wild. And I was like, so I feel like I've had my fill of Rez a little bit. Like
for sure.
If I want more Rez, I'll go, listen to a song of hers. But
But it's fine. But anyway, so like the music was all over the place is pretty much the point.
Interesting.
And that's fine. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's fine.
I would love to see a second stage pop up again, and then kind of give more opportunities to other DJs too.
They totally could do a 2-stage setup in the convention center.
Yeah. Because
it does have that modularity, and you could just like even make it a really small stage, like maybe even upstairs, have like a 500 person setup upstairs for like whatever locals and whatnot.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Just give more opportunity for locals to get on that like lineup too, and have that exposure.
Yeah.
Everything like that. I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah, I think they could do that again. I think there's still vibing
ironing out the kinks.
Yeah, I think they want to do a lot more stuff at the convention center, and they're just, I guess they're discovering how they're going to do that as they go, because if you take their progression from Foundations to Contact, there's definite improvements, like definite improvements for between how it started
to like different kind of things and merch you could buy.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they'll just continue to evolve that. Although that being said, their next Foundations is at the Pacific Coliseum, so not sure what's going on there. That being said, technically the Pacific Coliseum is a huge venue. You can have like, easily 10 to 15,000 people there. Not that I think they're going to, but
they used to hold seasons
for sure. Yeah, they had lots of shows there.
Festival.
Yeah, they had a ton of stuff that they used to do there for sure.
Like usually 2 or 3 days, and then they also had all the different clubs having the DJs on.
Yeah, I've seen big shows from Avicii there. I've seen like other big shows there. I can't remember the names of all the things that I went to, but
yeah, they've done.
I've definitely been to tons of shows there.
Yeah,
especially back in the day when I used to do a lot of the flyering. We'd be flying those lineups all day and then going inside and partying for the rest of the night, and I was just like, I paid my dues.
we've all done promotions for Blueprint.
Yeah,
it's great. They're a great team. Everybody's so nice there.
Yeah, so
but interesting. Am I excited to see what's coming up from them and like what comes up for 2024 and the big shows. But I am looking forward to, before I get to my stuff, Miss Monique.
Yes.
Is what I'm excited to go to.
Not this Friday, next Friday. That is a dream show. Thank you for booking that.
Oh my goodness. I saw Miss Monique at Printworks in London in March of 2023. She was incredible. Journey. I stood up front the entire time, staring at her. Yeah. And it was amazing.
I think from 2022.
Amazing.
I think from the middle of 2022 till even now. Yeah. Miss Monique is the one artist I've listened to the most sets of.
Yeah. She kind of popped up on my radar when Circle booked her in Montreal.
Yes, that was my first time I ever heard of her.
Yeah.
My buddy James, sorry to interrupt, I was hanging out at his place and he just has Circle sets on repeat. He just throws them on the background. Yeah. And I was trying to have a conversation with a friend of mine, and this is playing in the background. I'm just like I'm not able to concentrate because I'm like, that's an awesome song. Yeah. That's an awesome song. Okay. Yeah. Paying attention. That's an awesome, like just relentlessly going. I was just like, I was like, excuse me, who's playing right now?
Like what set is on?
Yeah, exactly. And then I think the set had just released within the last maybe 48 hours or 72 hours. So it was a newer one. And James is from Montreal, so he's like hyping up, oh, this is the thing. They're playing in the Dome and all this stuff. And I grew up in that area and all this stuff. Like
I saw Circle was releasing their tickets for the Circle set in Montreal. Yeah. And it was
because like Canada, right?
Short.
Let's go.
I was like, this is amazing. I'm so excited. But it was just too short notice for me to fly there. Like I literally looked at tickets. I looked at hotels and I was like, oh, if I found out a week earlier and tickets wouldn't be as insane, but they were like probably $600. And I was like, to go across Canada? Yeah. I can't justify it. So I'm so happy.
I mean, in hindsight, I would have paid that for sure. Because that set is one of the best sets I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah. I've played it 1,000 times since.
Every single time I get in your car, it's always playing.
Yeah, like I would highly recommend if you have not heard this set, everybody in the chat, go right now, Circle Montreal I don't know what's called
Miss
the venue.
Monique.
Yeah, Miss Monique Circle Montreal. Circle CERCLE.
Yeah.
Well, she play that set.
Play that set.
Yeah,
she also puts a ton of stuff on YouTube.
For sure. But like you could see as she's playing that set that she knows the set she prepared is going to smash.
Murder.
Like her look on her face is of pure
she just like gets more confident.
Confident euphoria. Yeah. Like, and she's like, you think this is good? Like she's like,
but wait,
just wait a second. Boom. And just like everybody's just like
losing their minds. You're just sitting there losing your mind when you're watching it too. I feel like she's such a sweet soul. Like I can't wait to see her in person again. But like when I saw her at Printwork, she was just like vibing, doing her thing, like so in the moment. Some DJs kind of like get a little uptight or like a little you know, like, oh, give me like hype up the crowd.
Or they get nervous or whatever. Because Circle's a big deal now.
Understandable.
Like,
yeah.
Circle's a big deal. Like if you do well, you're gonna have millions of people see that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like Moke Shack blew up after. You know, he's touring around the world now too. Oh, what was I gonna say? Bryn is opening.
I was gonna say Bryn is opening. Like as soon as that lineup, or as soon as she came on. So as soon as she came on,
please check out his episode. He's a genius.
Yeah,
genius.
I was like, well, there's no openers listed. I immediately messaged Dana, and I was like, because she didn't. Zeta, and I told her about the show because I showed Zeta that Montreal set. Yeah. She didn't know who she was, and then like I was like, you need to hear this. Yeah. And it's obviously since then she's been my musical muse essentially. Yeah. And same thing with Dana. She's been like her kind of like spirit animal. Yeah. So as soon as she came on, the show was advertised, I was like, who's opening? Yeah. They don't have an opener yet. You should be opening. I was like, there's only two people who make sense to open for the show. It's either you or Bryn.
All of Vancouver.
Or both. Yeah, it should be you, Bryn, or both. Like, because Bryn's actually got songs on her label, you know, and Dana is probably, you know, as far as like finding somebody who fits the vibe to support direct would be, it's got to be one of those two. Yeah. So that just makes sense. So it ended up being Bryn, and then they brought in another person. I don't know what I've never heard of who they are, but they're apparently
big in Calgary, or like I'm not from Calgary.
I think they might be from Calgary, but they're Ukrainian as well. You know, because she's Ukrainian, they're Ukrainian, so it's kind of like they have a connection there or whatever. Sense. Yeah. So so anyway, very excited for that. Super excited.
I am very excited to see more females on lineups in 2024. Just throwing that out there. Let's see.
No vested interest at all.
None at all. But like, please call me. No, just kidding. No, just in general. Like, I would like to see, you know, every single underground show lineup, above ground show, everything. Just think about it. Just think about it. Because we want to do it based on merit. We don't want to do it based on anything else. But like, just think about, maybe is there somebody that you haven't thought about who identifies as female? Because, okay, stop. I know I've invented it. I do. However, you do look at a lineup, and is it 95% men? Like, let's have a little bit more inclusive and diversity.
Sure.
Just throwing it out there. Love to see it.
Yeah, anyway, very excited for that show. In Celebrities, which means, you know, that's a good venue. No complaints there. Yeah. I hope it's not going to be too full. That's the thing I'm hoping. But of course, if it sells out, I'll understand. If they pack it, I'll totally understand. She's probably pretty expensive now. Yeah. So it is what it is. But
very excited.
You know, that's one of those things where it's like I'm almost tempted to be like, do I get a bottle just to not have to be knocked around while I'm not standing in line, but I don't want to be knocked into while I'm dancing. Yeah. Like I'm just trying to have a good time, and then like, oh, this guy's going this way now. This guy's going this way. And
it would be so sick.
Like,
there's
I hate that
VIP booth that's right in the center there that has a little bit of dancing room. That would be so cool to get that one. Yeah. I wonder how much that would be. We could look into it. So anyways, let's talk about me.
Little Miss killing it.
Little Miss. I've booked 4 shows in 1 week. And 2 of them were on the same night, which is wild.
Wow.
So
hardest working girl in show business.
Absolutely not. But I'd like to be. But I feel like it was a bit of a slow year for me for 2023. You know, I got 1 or 2 gigs here and there, and they just turned out to be like not what I was expecting them to be, and a little bit of a disappointment, or like something happened and like the dance floor cleared out right before my set got on, and I was like, damn, playing to kind of nobody. So I really wanted that experience of like, okay, I want a crowd in front of me. I want to play music for them and see what their response is, because I feel like I play so much on Twitch. It's amazing. It's so much fun. Everybody on Twitch loves my music. I love them. Great, cohesive, perfect. In the real life, am I good?
That's the thing with Twitch too, is that a lot of the times that you're playing, like there could be a ton of people enjoying it, but you're not seeing them enjoy it.
I have no clue.
Because they're just doing their own thing, right?
Yeah. So, as much as they're in the chat hyping me up, like, which is amazing, there's
that's
just
still a small
numbers.
percentage. Yeah.
I'm just seeing numbers, you know? So my very first, so I applied for a gig at Vantech, and it's an underground kind of techno-based club. It's not really a real club situation.
No, it's kind of a
after hours.
Yeah, after hours underground. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Renegade-ish.
Very renegade. Yeah. They advertise it as more of a safe space, and they play a lot of techno.
Yeah.
So I applied for a gig on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, everybody and their mother will be applying. Everybody's free on Christmas Day. Who wants to do that? I'll apply. And I'll just like throw my name in the hat and see what happens. So anyways, I get booked on Christmas Day. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know why I doubt myself so much. I was like, nobody's going to show up, because I talked to Sivs and I talked to DJ New Girl. They both played there before. I was like, what should I expect? I'm opening. Yeah. Well, like, they'll be like, oh, you're opening. Like, nobody's going to be there. Because they play on regular club nights. If you're opening, then everybody's at the club, and then they'll come after at like 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah,
right?
but none of clubs are open on, but they're not really open on Christmas Day.
Really, nothing's really open on Christmas Day. So this is the first thing. So people started piling in for my set, and I was like, oh, I guess, all right, people are here to listen. And I started playing my set, and people are grooving and vibing and getting into it, and it was very cool to see. And then this moment will live on in my memory forever. It was a little bit of a crescendo and a little bit of open air, like the and then somebody goes, Merry Christmas, and then the beat drops and everybody cheers, and it was like, am I in a movie right now? Like, what is going on? It was just such a cool feeling to finally have like a crowd in front of me who's enjoying my music. And not because I'm on Twitch and I'm just sitting there kind of thing. Like, they chose to be there. They're choosing to enjoy it.
Vantech is a very hardcore audience, you know, because they are very singular focused on the sound that they want. They're kind of like the Red Room for techno. So people are there. They're mostly there for just to hear good music. Yes. You know, they're not necessarily there to like party per se. No bottle service, they're obsessed. 0. They want to hear the music. They want to do their thing, and you know, so playing there's a little bit of pressure 100%. For you know to appeal to appeal to the higher sensibilities potentially of what the crowd might be. Yeah. Not to say that they're always going to be like that, but you know, if you go there and you play, you know, a techno set and it's not any good, you know, they can measure that against the baseline of all the hundreds of other people that they've heard there. Definitely. And it's a little bit of pressure there. So you go there and you smash, and that's very, you know, validating for sure.
Definitely. Like all those sets that I played on Twitch too, every single Sunday, practicing that like little journey thing and putting together a set, going in there. And then people are coming up to me after being like, that was amazing. Like I really genuinely enjoyed it. And it's not blowing smoke on my ass, you know. One guy
That's what we've been saying.
Remember forever. He came up to me and he's like, I came here on Christmas because I don't really have friends. I don't really have family. I just came here, you know, from, I think, Brazil, actually. Oh, wow, yeah. So he just moved to Vancouver, Canada. And he goes, you made my Christmas. You made my Christmas. And I was like, that is just all...
That's what it's all about.
I loved it.
That's what it's all about.
I loved it. So that was very... I'll remember that set forever. And yeah, it was a little audition set, so I didn't get paid for it. So hopefully they'll bring me back. And I'm totally willing to do it for free. You know, I'm okay with that. And I hope they'll bring me back.
That one time.
That one time. Yeah. I'll give everybody one.
Yeah. First one's free. Second time, you have to pay.
Please. And yeah, so that was the first one. Then I opened for a Craze. I wasn't direct support or opening. There was four different DJs.
Mm-hmm.
87 Dove was on first. Then it was my set, and I played I found new tech house music, all new tracks that had just been released or were unreleased, and put them all together, and I feel like it was good. People were there, and I was like, I wasn't direct support, so I didn't feel too worried about playing tech house and like exhausting their ear, because Still London was on next.
Yeah.
And he played a melodic progressive set, which was interesting. I thought that was an interesting choice. Amazing. Yeah, for my set, it was good. People were dancing. So it was, you know, I didn't really get the same response because I'm high up on this huge
it's a huge venue too.
A massive venue.
Yeah, so as it fills in, as it starts to fill in, it takes a while for that dance floor to look busy.
Yeah.
Especially
it was great.
Yeah. So fair enough.
Yeah. And then it was Macca Grills who played next, right before a Craze.
Okay.
And
no idea.
Good show. I think it went well.
Yeah.
He played a lot of his original, which was cool. Like really like bassy, more drivey kind of set. Great night. Great night. Chalk out up in the books. A little check mark. It was really cool to play like a big stage, and I got some photos, and my name is behind me, and like
because it's a good setup. It's a good setup. They have a big screen behind it and lots of lighting. It's like it's a large feeling medium club. Yes. Or venue, I should say. It's not a club, it's a venue, but
but it was like my kind of first like above like mainstream gig, and it was cool to just put it on a lineup next to a Craze and you know, all that sort of thing.
Sure.
So cool. And then the two gigs that I did was on New Year's Eve. Played some lounge music at Paradox. Did my job, you know. People were
Paradox, the club at the casino.
Club at that's D6. So I played D6 first.
Oh, okay.
Which is the Park Casino club.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where's Paradox? Oh, Paradox is
the old Trump Tower.
The old Trump Tower. That's right.
So Skilla was playing the main room.
Right. They call it Paradox now. Wasn't it called Mansion like 10 minutes ago?
That's a club inside of Paradox.
I'm very confused.
There's so many names. So Trump Tower was there.
Oh, yes, okay.
The club was called Mansion.
Right. Now it's Paradox is the
hotel has rebranded
as Paradox.
Got it. We were in one of the ballrooms.
Got it.
When they booked me for Paradox, I'm like, I have no idea what this is, but sure, I'll
paradoxical.
Show up. But it's anyway. But I'll show up. Yeah. And so Skilla was in the main ballroom, and then I was in a side ballroom. And again, that was so fun. I had a crowd before me, and I had previously put together a playlist of old school hits like Jolene, like Eminem, remixed into house music.
Okay.
They loved it.
For sure.
They loved it. Not your music, not mine necessarily that I would listen to.
Hey, that just shows you got those chops, because I couldn't have done that.
But they loved it. They had so much fun.
Somebody said, we're going to hire you to DJ, but you got to do that. I'd be like, you got to hire somebody else. Sorry.
But I love that music. I love it, and it's fun. It's energizing. It gets people going. So I think I'm going to bring some of that for my next upcoming gig.
Which is?
Bikinis and board shorts.
Oh, yes. That's going to be right after Miss Monique.
Can't stay out late then.
Yeah.
No, so January 27th, I'll be at Waldorf for Bikinis and board shorts.
Always one of the best parties you can go to. If you
much fun.
Have never been, highly recommend.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I will be playing. So what he does, it's interesting. Tim, who puts together the whole thing, gives each DJ 2 different time slots.
Yeah, there's 3. He always has 3 DJs, 6 slots.
6 slots. You get an opening slot and then a main headlining slot, which is kind of cool because for someone like myself who's just getting experience, being put on that headlining slot, you actually get a crowd in front of you.
Yeah, so even if you open right at the beginning and say the place is not even half full by the time you're done, which is not normally the case. Like it'll start empty, but by the time you're done, it's probably at least half full.
Oh, for sure.
People get there. People get there for sure. Yeah. But then you're always Yeah, you're always like, because if you play the very first opener set, your next set's at midnight. So you're, or 11? 11. So either way, that's like prime time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you start at, you're going to be playing a prime time slot right after.
Yeah.
So you get both of those things going.
Yeah. And the people know that too. So that's why they do show up early. So I think for my first set, what I'm planning on doing, we'll check in later to see how it all goes. But my first set, I'm going to do a melodic techno set. Yeah. I'm going to do like maybe probably take it down to 124.
Living the dream. This is what I wanted to do, Danica.
So go check out their previous episode. It's with DJ Danny and Mazen. It's like down in the, maybe like 5 or 6 episode number 5, 6. I can't remember.
Who knows? Yeah.
But they were talking about it. So I'm going to start with melodic techno, probably like 124 to 126. It's only 40-minute set, so I'll just do a little bloop. Yeah. And then my headliner slot, I think I'll do similar to what I played for the people at Paradox. I'm so sorry. But it got the people going. It was so much fun. It was old school house remixed new into like tech house.
That's
or house
exactly
music.
What they want, by the way.
No, but the people who are going will absolutely love it. I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be great, and it's an experience.
I hope you play a melodic techno set and half the club is there and everybody pees their pants in excitement and you're like, pivot, we're gonna do that.
And then just like throw in a techno song and be like, let's go. I could.
Yeah, we'll see. Whatever.
We'll see.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. So that's my plan. I'm sticking with it up until I don't, and then I
just whatever.
Deviate. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got going on in my life.
Yeah. So what about what the podcast has got going on?
Podcast. But tell me about the podcast.
Yes.
So.
It's over, guys.
That's it. We're done.
It's all over.
We're throwing in the towel. Nobody likes it. Everybody hates it. Hi Tess, I'll call you back. We've got some interesting news. So what we're going to do is a little rebrand, a little refresh, because it is going so well and people do like it. I want to incorporate. So when I first started, I was like, okay, well, what is the situation? Who do I have? I've got you, and then I also had Reed here too. Reed was in our first couple of episodes. She had to move to Calgary. You decided that you fell in love with us, and I am just happy to be here. And so we're gonna do a little rebrand where we're kind of bringing a little bit more of his personality in mine. We're gonna call it the Afters Podcast.
And we're going to be sitting on this side, so guests could go on that side.
And the guests are going to be here. We're going to be here. We've got so many amazing guests
I had to draw the line on that saggy chair once and for all.
Once and for all. Tessa's spam calling me.
Well, we're busy.
I know, but she says call me ASAP.
Oh, okay.
Words and things.
Okay, maybe is there a technical issue? Is that the mute button? Are we unmuted now?
We are unmuted.
Okay,
sorry, fam.
Sorry, guys. So that was hilarious.
Great news.
Great news.
That we can't tell you about.
Oh, we can't?
No.
Is it a secret?
It's a secret.
God damn it.
So you have to stay tuned. Something is happening in a couple of months. It might involve me. It might involve DJ New Girl. Big things are on the way.
Huge news. Huge.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We cannot overstate how big this is. So congratulations. Awesome. What?
Hey,
awesome. Yeah.
All right. Well, big things to come.
Yeah, big things to come.
Yeah. We've got so many beautiful guests coming on the podcast. We're so excited to have them and talk to them. And
yeah, and we're gonna keep trying to grow things. We're starting to plant the seeds for improving equipment.
Yeah.
Improving potentially maybe a new place to record the podcast. That might not be something that happens right away, but we're working on that. But so far, the feedback that we've been getting from everybody who's been a part of it, who hasn't been a part of it but has enjoyed it, is that it's bigger and better than even my wildest dreams potentially at this point would have even thought of.
Yeah.
So
this has really grown quickly. I obviously want things done yesterday.
Yeah, she's so like, why don't we have 2 million hits yet? And we're making.
Where's everybody? No, just kidding.
But
I'm so appreciative of like what has gone on, how much you've been involved too, because I've loved doing this with you.
Yeah, I think it has to be us because you're not gonna find two more different people on the planet that get along with each other.
I mean,
you know,
if you can't spot the differences.
Exactly.
Ooh. No, just kidding. No, I've loved doing this with you, and it's so much fun, and I want to keep growing it, and I think it's a really good avenue for people to find people in Vancouver, find the underground, because I keep hearing from people, I can't find the good music. I go to the Granville strip, and it's just, you know, full of blah people, you know, on TikTok and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're here.
Tell ya.
You know, the seed's here. You know, it's you just have to meet that one person. Yeah. And it opens up your whole world in Vancouver.
It literally changes your whole life.
Yeah, and I believe you could talk to just about anybody who's in the scene. They'll tell you that, you know, they know all the best people. Vancouver's great. It's not cliquey, blah blah blah, but it is all the stereotypes. It is. That really you think Vancouver is. It is. Yeah. But it's hard to meet people, hard to make friends. But if you find that one person that is not in that nonsense, it'll open up your whole world to a magical place. Yeah. So there's so much good music, so many good people, so many people working so hard in the scene too, and like trying to make it grow. And I've said this once, and I'll say it again. I think Vancouver is one of the last cities to be discovered. With music and entertainment. There's so many talented people here. And I'm honored to be a part of it. Yeah. And this is my little contribution. Our little girl grows up so fast. Our little baby. We had a baby. Anyways, our baby's growing. Yeah. And so it's going to be the afters, not necessarily at Blondie's, because we might move. Yeah, we might move.
We might go somewhere. We'll see. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, because I really like the platform of YouTube. Yeah. It's a great platform. We'll continue to do our lives on Twitch. It seems to be going well. You guys enjoy it. And
yeah, I think that's a
big
wrap.
Things to come.
Yeah, big things to come. Wow, like that call was. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about all the great things that are happening, and then boom.
Speaking of, we'll be able to debrief that with you in a couple of months, because...
A couple of months? Oh my God, the tension, the excitement, the anticipation.
It's driving me up the wall.
That's what they call in the industry a tease.
Are we teasing you yet? Oops.
Yeah. Gotta get those views somehow, right?
Right? I know, the clickbait. I do apologize. I throw some of that in there, but...
the queen of clickbait right here, yeah.
When it fits, it fits. When it works, it works.
Yeah, right? So we bid After Hours at Blondie's adieu. It's been a great run.
Yeah. Excited for the rebrand coming
It's going to look very similar, but slightly different.
But slightly sexier. Yeah. You let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Feel free, give us our feedback.
Yeah. So same bat time, same bat channel. None of that's changing.
No.
We have a guest on next week. Who do we have next week?
Kilo.
We got Kilo next week.
So excited to have him. We've got a DJ coming in from Charlotte, from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking to him.
Wow, is that our big international debut?
Flying to see us.
Wow.
Sort of.
Wow. That's unreal.
I know. Very exciting.
But this is the start of what we're looking at. We're thinking like people come in from out of town. We talk about what they do. Yeah. Also talk to them about what we do here. Absolutely. Oh, the other thing we're going to be doing is potentially we might be doing what we're doing now when we talk about our reviews of what's going on in nightlife, our weekend, the weekend update versus what's happening in the future. We may start to integrate that with the guests. Yeah, so I'm excited. What we'll do is we'll do the interview in the standard format that we've been doing it, and then we will then, you know, like end the interview and then be like, hey, we're going to talk about what's happening in the scene. Sometimes we'll have the guests participate if they want. If they don't want to or they don't have time, that's okay. We'll do our own thing. It'll be shorter than we're doing now. Obviously, this one was longer because we're catching up on basically a month worth of stuff. At least 3 weeks worth of stuff. Yeah. So, You know, it will be shorter, but like, you know, we still want to make sure that we've got, you know, our ear to the ground, promoting the scene, you know, outside of just the DJs. We want to talk about the venues. We want to talk about the events. We want to talk about any important things that we're got going on. Yeah.
We're watching you.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. That's pretty much it, I think.
I'm excited. So let us know. Give us your feedback about that too. If you have any suggestions. If you see any DJs coming to town, you want them to be on the podcast, bug them about it. Tell them about us. Please. They will hopefully want to talk to us.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
And like, share, and subscribe.
We'll be here every single week. Wednesdays for Twitch, Tuesdays for YouTube. And
that's
until
it.
then.
Yeah.
Adios.
Adios.
Take care. We'll see you soon.